This is Wise Bexley from the Pull Up. I got a special guest with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Marsha Bexley. I'm the mother of Wise Bexley.
All right, you got any social medias or anything you want people to look into?
No, I just wanted to kind of share. I wanted to take Juneteenth to just share with people about my subject today. That's it.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
We are talking about experiencing menopause.
Okay. So I got a few questions I want to dive into, and I'm gonna just let you just answer as freely as you want to answer. I want to start off with how old were you when you first started experiencing menopause, and then how did that affect you emotionally when you first started going through it?
Okay, long story short, I was in my 40s, and this was back in 2015. I was forced into menopause by having a hysterectomy.
Okay, and once you realized what was going on, or did the doctors let you know immediately that there could be a result of the hysterectomy, or did it just pop up on you?
No, I kept asking them before I had surgery because I had about 50 little small tumors all over my kidneys and my intestines. So they had no choice but to perform the hysterectomy. They had difficulty with it, and I still have a fallopian tube and an ovary. And I kept asking them, was it going to be an issue? And they kept saying, no, everything will be fine. But I knew as soon as I got out of surgery that it was something wrong.
That something was different.
Right.
You could tell immediately.
Yes, I was super hot. I was
Okay.
really hot. Yeah.
So after that, like once you like were for sure what it was, how did that impact you just on a daily basis emotionally, like dealing with it out of nowhere like that?
Well, at the very start, I noticed that I was picking up weight. And then, even when I was exercising, there was no change. Then I noticed that I couldn't sleep at night. And then I was super hot every day. And sweat was just running off my nose when I would be at work. And then I was like, oh my God, like what is going on? And so I went back to the doctor, but they told me that if they gave me any type of medication, that it would alter my personality.
The medicine for your menopause will alter your personality as far
Yeah.
as like making you more like monotone, or like what is it? What do they mean by
Well,
that?
he said that I was a happy person.
And it would
So
take that away,
it would take that away. That's what he told me.
like Ritalin maybe. Okay. So what were some significant changes that you felt early, like things that just stuck out that affected your everyday?
I was very emotional. I cried at the drop of a dime, but I just thought it was because of having a hysterectomy. But I just noticed like everything made me upset and angry. And I was like that probably for about the first 3 years.
Did you experience that like while you were on your period? Like, did you have those like high emotion moments, or was it similar to?
I did, but it was worse with the
It was
menopause.
worse. And does that make you feel like out of control when like I never like really asked a woman just in general on their period when they're going through these emotional hormones and things like that, when you can't help yourself, does that make you feel like out of control in your life?
Yeah, everything because I have to have a balance. And I felt like I was always off balance all the time. So it got so bad. My memory was getting bad that I was having to schedule everything. And then when things wouldn't go right, I would just have an emotional breakdown.
Did it affect your personal life with your friends or maybe lovers? Did it affect that?
Oh, yeah, that was the end of that.
Just
That was the end of like the lover part. That was the end. 2015, that was it.
and was it more physical, or was it just like the emotional part of it was too much in while you were going through it early on? I'm speaking in these early stages still.
Right. Well, with the person that I had the relationship with, he couldn't handle the way that I was acting, and I started becoming real needy, and that wasn't my personality. I was expecting him to be a certain way, and I wasn't like that before I went into
It
menopause.
was too much of a change for you, too fast.
It changed my personality. Yeah.
Okay, so for the people that might be experiencing early menopause, what are some of the signs that you would say would be pointing towards that direction? If for the people that haven't went to the doctor yet to be diagnosed with it, what are some things that stick out in your opinion that they should be looking out for?
I would say the lack of sleep, the weight gain. So, like, if you start gaining weight and you can't lose weight, and then you're a person that exercise all the time, I would go to a doctor and get blood work done to see if you still have testosterone.
And are there any like methods or diets or anything that has worked for you particularly throughout this process? Any type of food specifically that help with things, or any type of just ritualistic things that you do on a daily basis that you've seen results from?
I would say definitely uh, eliminate fried foods. I love fried foods. However, I would not eat that every single day. I would say eliminate caffeine totally. I do cheat with that because, of course, we all need a little bit of caffeine to get our day started. So, but I would definitely eliminate caffeine and sugar. So right now I don't eat a lot of sugar at all. And then I mean don't eat substitute sugar either.
And have you noticed? So let's say, how long have you been more strict with your caffeine intake and your sugar intake? How long has that been?
I would say the last couple of years because what I did is I went to a weight loss clinic when I lived in Missouri. And when I was there they did blood work, and then when she did the blood work, when she checked me, she said each woman needs a certain amount of testosterone. And so she said that I don't have any with going through the menopause and having a hysterectomy. So I lost all of my muscle tone.
Mm-hmm.
And so then another thing that explained why I don't grow hair on my arms and under my arms and on my private parts. But now that I think I'm on the other end of menopause, now the hairs are beginning to come back.
Okay, okay. So you definitely, since these last 2 years, since you started being more strict, did you notice something? Did you notice a change? Was it a noticeable change? I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I noticed that my nights were getting better. I don't have the hot flashes at night. And I also noticed that my hairs had started growing back.
Okay. So throughout the we covered the beginning stages of it. Sometimes when you have pain for a long, like for example, I have bad back pain, but you kind of get used to that pain. Working on a daily basis and moving around daily, you almost forget that you're in pain until you can't forget. So as you're going through the early moments of menopause, and then it's getting towards the middle stages, you enter your 50s. Is it a stage where you are used to it? Like, is it like not affecting your daily routine?
Just the last couple of years. The first couple of years, like I said, I had the hot flashes, the sweats in the daytime, the sweats at nighttime, and I also had issues with arthritis. And I didn't have that before. And so what I started doing was reading and researching. And then I learned that if you're going through menopause, that it triggers arthritis in your body. So that's why you have to eliminate the sugars and stuff and the fried foods, because that also causes inflammation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is some advice that you would, emotional advice? Because it's tough. I just being with my girlfriend for these last few years, I just her going through PMS and the ups and downs, going through a pregnancy, the ups and downs in hormones. I realized what a toll it puts on women emotionally. So, what's some advice to a young lady that's just now going into menopause and she can't regulate her emotions? What's some advice that you would give her moving forward?
I would definitely get mental health therapy because I've had that for the last 8 years. So that helps a lot because the therapist or your health coach talks you through controlling your emotions. Again, eliminating the sugars, that's a big part of it because that triggers it. I would also, like, if you're a big person that drinks lattes and things like that, definitely don't do the lattes, don't do the Red Bulls, the energy drinks. If you definitely have to have coffee, just get a little bit of black coffee. I'm talking about just a taste of it, just to get your day started. But try to take all of that stuff out of your diet completely.
Okay. And is there anything else before we wrap it up that you want to just tell women specifically, but the world, but women in specifically, about this journey?
I would definitely say do research. Like if a doctor tells you that you need to have a hysterectomy or a myomectomy, because I've had both. I had the myomectomy first.
Can
The
you
tumor.
explain what that is before we continue?
Okay, so the myomectomy is when they just remove the tumors.
Okay.
So they didn't remove the organs. They didn't remove the ovaries or the fallopian tubes or the uterus.
Okay.
So what they did was, I don't know if you remember or not, but what they did, I had about 20 tumors. I had 8 lined up against my spine, and then I had one on my ovary that was 8 pounds, and another one that was connected to that was 7 pounds. And one thing I learned from the myomectomy is that don't eat meat. So if you don't eat meat, then it'll help prevent the tumors from coming back. But what happened was when I moved to North Carolina, because I didn't eat meat for about 4 years, I moved there and I started putting meat back in my diet. And then if you know, meat has hormones in it. And so then that's when I noticed that the tumors came back and I had to get the hysterectomy.
Okay, and I just knowing you personally, I know that taking meat out of your diet sometimes can be difficult for your energy or whatever. So, is there any advice for people that might be similar to that? Like once they take out the protein or meat out of their diet, what is something that you did to help with your energy wise when you try to take a break from meat?
I started getting B12 shots.
Okay.
Yeah, the B12 shots, and they're real cheap, and you can get them anywhere. And if you don't want to get the shots, then I would also say definitely get vitamin D and get prescription vitamin D and vitamin B.
So definitely stock up on your
On
vitamins.
your vitamins, yeah. And make sure you get sunshine too, because that also help with the moods. So even like sometimes now, like even on my lunch break, I will go and just sit out in the sun for like 30 minutes. So that helps with the mood as well.
Yeah, they now it's becoming more. It's more and more studies coming out speaking about like just walking, not even jogging or
Right.
running, but just walking up and down your driveway can help you be in a better mood
Yeah.
and clear your mind. Um, anything else? Anything else before we get out of here?
Well, I do want to share like some of the biggest things that hit me that I didn't know about and I didn't expect was body odor. I smelled really bad like the first couple of years. And so, and when I'm saying body odor, it was a different odor and it was on my private parts and even on my underarms. And I never had experienced that before. And so I reached out to one of my friends who also had a hysterectomy the exact same time that I did. And her doctor advised her to get boric acid. And that's the best thing I could have done. I did that last year, no more smell. I ordered it off of Amazon. So I know all opinions are our own. I'm not a medical professional, but these are just things that I'm sharing that I wish somebody would have shared with me at the beginning.
And then I wonder if boric acid does it have to be connected to menopause, or that could be something that can just be used in general.
That can be
For
used
body
in gym
odor.
because whenever your pH balance is off and you're having problems with smells down there, definitely get the boric acid. Because even when my friend told me about, hey, Karen Farmer, you the one told me about it. So anyway, if you do that, even if you have yeast infections, anything dealing with odor down there, definitely use the boric acid. And you don't have to just be going through menopause.
Okay, and that was that like something you noticed immediately?
I did it for like 7 days.
And by the time you got to the end, you noticed the difference.
Right. Yeah, I don't have the smell down there anymore. And the smell was so bad that This was during COVID. That's when it really got bad. And so I called my best friend, and she was like ordering me all this stuff, and it was making me burn and itch. And I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. And all it did was just covered up the smell.
But it was still.
It was still, the smell was still there, but it was strong. And so.
And you said it wasn't like a fish smell. So do you have like a description of like what was the smell?
It was almost like a mop, like a wet mop and a must, like a real must type smell.
Right. And this is happening if you have a long day or any type of...
Oh, it happens like soon as I take a bath in the morning.
Right.
I like morning baths, and like within the next hour, if I sit down and get back up, I can smell myself. And it had to be strong for me to smell my own self. And so then I looked it up and I kept Googling, and then they said that was one of the side effects of menopause.
And even that can take a toll on you emotionally, like walking around and not knowing if other people smell you and stuff like
Yes.
that. Like that can be a lot too to deal with.
And then, I didn't want to have a love life with anybody. And so I haven't been with anyone since 2015 because I was like, oh God, I don't want to take my clothes off and then I smell like this. So that was an issue too as well. And then physically, another surprise happened to me was, and I don't know if I should share this on, live like this or not, but my clitoris went back in. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like almost like a newborn.
And then it's expanding back since it's ending, or what?
What I was told that once I become intimate again, that it'll come back out. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I didn't know that until one day because I was using, the boric acid, and then I just happened to look down there, and I noticed that my clitoris was like very, very, like almost gone, like a baby.
Does the sex drive go away with menopause, or is it just something you just kind of...
Well, I haven't really met anybody yet, but I will add that when I was going to the weight loss clinic, that they had gave me testosterone, and it drove my sex drive up, so I had to stop because I had to stop it, but yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we got a lot of good information in this little sit down. I appreciate you sitting down and being so vulnerable and being honest, because I believe that this is a topic that I'm not sure I've ever seen nobody really just sit down and talk about in detail. And like young men have a lot of things going into adulthood and middle agedness that nobody never tells us about. I believe women on the other side have those moments too where nobody actually sits down and like, hey, when you turn 40 or when you turn 50, this is what's gonna happen to your body. Even as young as your 30s, like watching my girl like body change right in front of us, it's like it takes a toll on women emotionally.
Yeah, it does.
And this content like this can at least give them some type of guidance of what to do in the future if it happens to them.
Yes.
So I appreciate that from you.
Thank you. And then hopefully we can get back together again, because I am going to get on a regimen and on a strict diet and get back on an exercise plan now that I'm on the opposite side of menopause, and just to see like a before and after segment and just see how I look in the next year.
Oh, before we get out of here, is it now that it's coming to an end, or that you think that it's coming to an end, is it some type of sense of relief?
It is, because I had been exercising and doing all these things. I got up to 320 pounds. Well, I lost like 35 pounds in like 2 months this year. And that's when I knew, like I said, okay, I'm not having the night sweats anymore. I'm not having a lot of things happening that was happening at the beginning. So that's why I think I'm either in the middle or the end of menopause.
And it does give you a sense of relief.
It does. It does. My memory is getting better, because that was the thing too. I kept forgetting a lot of stuff.
Right. Okay. Well, I thank you. I think we got 20 minutes in. So.
Okay, good. All right. Again, my name is Marsha Bexley. I am not a medical professional, but I did want to share with everyone, the young, the middle, the old, what menopause can do to you. And I just want to be able to help somebody because I wish somebody would have told me. Thank you.
Thank you.